Alright, listen buddy, Dominaria United and its commander set had some real bangers. It was a Legends focused set with a whole grip of build around commanders and fantastic utility cards that have stabilized with very affordable prices. Listen, do you want to tell your son that you bought Lord of the Rings collector boxes with his college funds, or do you want to listen to old Nicky G and pick up some cheap singles? Well, listen, if you opt for the latter, then you gotta subscribe, dude. Your whole relationship with your son is on the line, even if he hasn't even been born yet. Choose sanity, brother. And if you're feeling spicy, you can buy me a coffee at the link in the description. Alright, so let's take a walk down memory lane and talk about these sweet cards, buddy. These are all under $3, so you'll find some utility here, and you may see some build around commanders. You can build a sweet budget deck around too. Dominaria United had a bunch of sweet throwback legends in the commander set too, so we'll check out some of those while we're at it. Alright my friends, let's start with Braids Arisen Nightmare. This is $2, 1 black for a legendary creature Nightmare. It's a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. What this incentivizes is running cards that have significant drawbacks. Cards like Treacherous Blessing, Demonic Pact. You can just get rid of these, then draw cards because chances are your opponents aren't going to have an enchantment that they want to sacrifice. Plus, cards that are great with Braids are very cheap. I use her in a ton of decks, dude. Plus, she's got that smile and those crazy eyes. I can't resist that. Both art treatments really rock, too. Alright, then we have Jodah the Unifier, also $2. It's a Urborg legendary creature human wizard. It's a 5/5. Legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control, and guess what? You're going to control one dude, so he's going to get a +1/+1 too. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This just does all the legend stuff, dude, and pumps them up to an insane degree. You can sub-specialize this deck with 5-color equipment, with ETB effects, or with whatever you want, dude. Your commander's a beefy boy right off the rip. His first ability pumps him up, and he's a legendary creature. This guy is really powerful to build around. I bet he thinks he's really handsome, too. And next up, we got Ratadrabik of Urborg. Yeah, 50 cents. 2 white and a black for a legendary creature, Zombie Wizard. Has Vigilance, Ward 2, and it's a 3/3. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. This guy is another Legends Matters card with a Zombies Matters sub-theme, dude. What a weird mishmash of abilities. This guy doesn't exile the creature when it dies, so you can reanimate it, give it undying, or whatever. The token it creates is non-legendary, so you can just bring that right back out of the graveyard. This is a powerful deck that really likes Mikaeus the Unhallowed and Sidisi Undead Vizier. Awesome build around. Oh man, then we got Cadric, the Fresh Maker. 50 cents, 2 red and a white for a legendary creature. It's a Dwarf Wizard. It's 4/3. The legend rule doesn't apply to tokens you control. That's pretty rad right there, dude. Whenever another non-token legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. I did a video on this guy in which I emphasized planeswalkers that become creatures and ETB effects, and it was pretty rad, dude. There's a lot of tricky stuff you can do with this. Everybody wants a Boros commander that does something besides equipment. Here you go, dude, and it's powerful and fun to boot. Oh, take a look at Ivy, Gleeful Spellthief. She looks just like Tinkerbell from those Peter Pan movies from when I was a kid. 50 cents for this green and blue legendary creature, Fairy Rogue. It's 2/1 with flying. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy Gleeful Spellthief, you may copy that spell. The copy targets Ivy. This is an amazing auras commander that uses cards like Cold-Eyed Selkie as an aura target and Gross Ivy at the same time. There are plenty of cantrips that we can copy as well for additional value. Of course, there are mutate shenanigans we can get into as well to frustrate your opponents and frustrate yourself while you're at it. Bladewing, Deathless Tyrant. 25 cents for this guy. 5 black and a red for a legendary creature, Dragon Skeleton. It's a 6/6 with flying and haste. Whenever this guy deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, for each creature card in your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie knight creature token with Menace. Okay, you spend the first couple turns ramping up self-milling, then blast off with 7 zombie knights, and then your opponents need a board wiper, you're gonna run away with it, dude. This can be built cheaply with a reanimator theme. It's very versatile and it's very resilient. Give this guy double strike and you're really in business. Plus it's a diesel dragon with dudes in its belly, you can't beat that. Oh man, then we got Soul of Windgrace out there, 50 cents, 1 red, black, and a green for a legendary creature, Cat Avatar. It's a 5/4. Whenever this guy enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield, tapped under your control. Has green, discard a land card, you gain 3 life. 1 in a red, discard a land card, you draw a card. 2 in a black, discard a land card. This guy gains indestructible until end of turn and tap it. Jund lands, dude, that's all you can say about this thing. This cycles your lands, puts them right back onto the battlefield. This is an incredibly powerful Jund lands commander that's worth a second look, buddy. And next up we have Meria, Scholar of Antiquity. Look at her in the woods, dude. She's looking all flying lovely out there. 1 red and a green for a legendary creature, Elf Artificer. It's a 3/3. Tap an untapped non-token artifact you control, add green. Tap 2 untapped non-token artifacts you control, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. This is really rad, dude. You can tap your equipment to pay the equip costs, plus you can generate card advantage with this thing. And it's an elf if you care about that. If you want to get nasty, put some infect creatures like Spinebiter in there and go to town, brother. Alright, this guy is a real favorite of mine. Ramses, Assassin Lord. 2 blue and a black for a legendary creature, Human Assassin. It's 20 cents. Has Death Touch, and it's a 4/4, dude. Other assassins you control get +1/+1. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you controlled, you win the game. This guy is just buck nasty, but he needs hexproof and some evasion, he needs some pump, and it's a 2-hit kill on somebody, winning you the game. I ignored all other creatures and that second ability and leaned into Voltron ores and equipment for a $50 budget deck. And this guy is killing somebody on turn 5 with really good luck, dude, but it's a really interesting build around. Neat addition to the Commander universe. And next up we got Tetsuo, Imperial Champion. This guy's 50 cents, 1 blue, black, and a red for a legendary creature, Human Samurai. It's a 3/3. Whenever Tetsuo attacks, if it's equipped, choose 1. He deals damage equal to the highest mana value among equipment attached to it to any target, or you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand with a mana value less than or equal to the highest mana value among equipment attached to Tetsuo without paying its mana cost. Really interesting hybrid equipment and Spellslinger commander that's incredibly unique in these colors. You're encouraged to use smaller kill spells and draw spells to generate value, and sweet equipment like Hammer of Nazan to make him a combat monster that's really great at controlling the board. This thing is awesome. Alright man, that's 10, but guess what? We're taking this video to 11, dude. The Ever-Changing Dane, white, blue, and a black for a legendary creature, Shapeshifter. It's a 3/3. This thing is 16 cents. Has 1, sacrifice another creature. This guy becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature, except it has this ability. Alright man, this is the last one, I swear to God. Look at this guy. Absolutely terrifying. He's a cutie pie. He's just sucking the life out of some poor fellow over there. I built this with steel effects because we have a sacrifice outlet right in the command zone, dude. Esper Theft has a ton of sweet cards. The dream, though, is to have Dane on the battlefield, cast Phyrexian Dreadnought. With its ETB on the stack, sacrifice it to Dane's ability and have a 12/12 trampling commander swinging on turn 4. This commander is incredibly slept on and a lot of fun, dude. Alright, so listen up folks, I did videos on quite a few of these and they're still near and dear to my heart. Feel free to check out the deck list on Moxfield. I'm going to link my page in the description and you can just kind of search through my channel if you want to see videos on any one of these commanders, except for maybe Ratadrabik. And as always, be kind to each other. Don't absorb another man's essence and live his life as a doppelganger like old Dane, dude. That's real tomfoolery. That's real felonious behavior. Snicky G from Better Commander, signing off.